I don't think so is going to happen. Those people who are trying to impose a specific value, maybe the government, maybe the non-state actors, maybe terrorists, they're all fundamentalists. Who is a fundamentalist? A fundamentalist is one who says that there is one truth, and to reach that truth, there is only one way, one path. Postmodern is completely this idea, and to inculcate postmodern ethic is not an easy ethic. You should not get angry for even any kind of counter argument in a debate. Why do you get angry? Because you believe that my idea is the superior idea. Someone who knows that, okay, there could be another truth also is a postmodern person. That is where the real liberalism emerges. But there is a problem with postmodern ethic. What is the problem? If everybody believes in his own idea of ethics, etc., slightly what could happen is there could be loss of order. Anarchy might prevail sometimes. Okay, that's one negative effect, but this can still be managed. You can still bring some order, like constitutional document if you make, you can still bring order. Is this clear? Does this story make sense? We've started with something called Socrates and reached postmodernism. If you have any specific doubts, because I'm rounding it up and concluding and bifurcating things, if you have any specific doubts, you can go on. Are online people alive? I think they're dead. In the middle, by enlightenment, they're enlightened. Yeah, go on. If you have any specific doubts, you can throw. So, okay, many people, socket me, slot me in specific things. When I first time came, when I entered UPSC, but earlier I was in DU. So suddenly when I come to UPSC, there was a general slotting. You need to slot a person. Slotting is like, you need to identify whether he is a supporter of which ideology he belongs to. He belongs to liberalism, he belongs to Marxism, or he supports Congress, he supports BJP. When I criticize BJP, many people used to question me. And suddenly they used to come, what about Rahul? I mean, Rahul, I'm Rahul's father or what? Like, why will I take care of Rahul? I mean, Rahul's father was there, Rahul's mother is there, they'll take care of him. And Rahul is capable, he is above 18, he knows what to do. Why will I take the responsibility of Congress? So, I mean, what am I trying to say? People who want to socket you, or people who want to slot you, they are living in a binary world. Bucks live in a binary world. If you criticize BJP, the moment is, what about Congress? Did I say Congress did a great thing? I said BJP is doing a wrong thing. What Congress did, we'll discuss later. Because it is in power, we are discussing. So what I'm trying to say is, a postmodern person does not behave in this fashion. Postmodern person will say, okay, who is a postmodern person? I say BJP is incorrect. That only means BJP is incorrect. That does not mean Congress is correct. That's a postmodern ethic. It looks at everything very categorically. Is that clear? Okay. So finally, what we are concluding or rounding up is classification. Now, what we can classify my entire lecture into two things. One classification is there are either objectivists or there are subjectivists. Then the second one is cognitivist and emotivist. So all the thinkers can be classified into either objectivism or subjectivism. Who is an objectivist? A person who believes that there is a truth and you can find it, you can discover it. So every person till Hume, leave Hume, starting from Plato till Hume were all till Enlightenment period, till Kant, everybody was an absolutist or an objectivist. They said there is something out there we can discover. Now Aristotle said I'll discover it through virtue ethics. Bentham said I will discover it through utilitarian ethics. The method may be different, but everybody believed that some sort of truth existed. But it's only after Hume, subjectivism comes into pictures. Hume says you cannot say something, murder is wrong is do not murder. It is just an emotion. So there he becomes subjective, and subjectivists believe what? There is no final truth. You can just talk about contingent truths. My truth is my truth only. My truth may be my cultural truth. It is not truth of the entire universe. These are called subjectivists. Who are all these people? Hume and all postmoderns are subjectivists. Is that clear? Now there are different names used in different textbooks. when they give you, ethics paper, when they give you, they'll give you different names like this, different combinations. They all mean the same. So different names for objectivist. First we'll do objectivism is same, universalism means same, absolutism means same, realist means same. They all believe in one principle, that there is a truth out there. You can go discover that. Someone who is a subjective, they are called moral relativist, relative. They are also called cultural relativist. Okay. It's also called ethical relativism. It's also called moral subjectivism. Just opposite realism, it's anti-realism. Okay. So any term could be used. Now remember these terms, because what will happen? They'll give you a different combination, permutation combination. Like they'll ask you emotive ethical relativism. What is emotive ethical relativism and all, we'll discuss in the next class. So this is one classification. The second classification is cognitivist versus non-cognitivist. Cognitive means what? Cognition. Cognition means understanding. You understand with your brain. So someone who believes that brain is the source of ethics is believing in intellectualism. Yes? Who was the founder of this? Socrates, Plato, etc. and all. Yes or no? So they believe that it is brain. They believe it is not brain, it is heart or emotions. So in this section, Hume comes in this section, Rawls, Hinduism and Christianity. I said you should have a good heart to be ethical. That's what Hinduism and Christianity says. On the other hand, you have people who say that you should know ethics, you should learn ethics to be ethical. That is cognitivism. So there you have Socrates, Plato, Bentham, Kant. Bentham and Kant, enlightenment, they support rationalism. Is this clear? Now what they'll do, they'll give you a combination, cognitive, ethical, anti-realism. This is just, I made one combination. What is cognitive, ethical, anti-realism? He is a person who believes that the source of ethic is in brain, cognition. And he believes that there is no single truth, anti-realist. That is the mean. So different permutations and combinations you can make like that. You can make emotive realism also. So what is emotive realism? So just by knowing in terms individually, you can answer any question you want to. Okay. This exercise we'll do tomorrow. Plus tomorrow what I'll be also doing is, I'll be giving you answer writing, like, as to how do you write answers. Third is, how do you apply all these thoughts to case studies? Like with examples we'll discuss.